That's right. You could be a champion. You could be sitting in the Hall of Fame. Good evening, Ghana, and welcome to Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Lexus Bill. How's your day been? Have you had a good day? I'm sure you're probably wrapping up from work or you're on your way home, stuck in traffic somewhere around Medina. Or maybe you're just home relaxing and listening to your radio. This is Personality Profile with Lexus Bill. I look forward to Thursday evenings because we get to sit with amazing people doing great things for the motherland. And tonight I've got one such amazing guest for you. Yeah, we're sitting with a man whose story is much about grit as it is about vision. From the classrooms of Legon to the tough corridors of local government, from the fiery front lines of youth politics, and now to the national stage. He's walked a journey defined by boldness and, of course, the power of the young people. He's Ghana's first ever Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. He's a lawyer, a strategist, a family man, and above all, a voice for the next generation. Look, whether you agree with his politics or not, one thing is certain. His name has become synonymous with youth mobilization, energy, and results. Yeah. Currently serving his second term as National Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress. His public service career began in 2009 thereabouts when he made history as the youngest person at 27 years old to be appointed as Municipal Chief Executive, Equiapim North Municipal Assembly by President John Evans Atta Mills. His two-term tenure as MCE was from 2009 to about 2017 thereabouts. He attended Achimota Primary School and then the prestigious Adisado College before pursuing a bachelor's degree in philosophy and psychology from the University of Ghana. Of course, a proud member of the Commonwealth Hall as well. He also holds an executive master's degree in governance and leadership, as well as a Bachelor of Laws LLB degree from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. He was called to the bar in 2019. Tonight, we go beyond the headlines to meet the man behind the public office. His roots, his rise, his reflections, his dreams for Ghana's youth and the future. Please help me welcome lawyer George Opare Addo. Of course, affectionately called Pablo.
It's not all about me.
That was all you, man. That was all you. Good to have you, bro. How are you doing?
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, really excited to have you. I know you're a very busy man. You've been on the radio for a bit, but you've been busy.
Sincere apologies to listeners.
Oh no, it's okay.
Some time ago, and
yeah.
I had to attend to a national assignment.
Yes,
so
yes.
I couldn't make it. But sincere apologies. At least I'm here today.
Now you're here.
We can have all the conversations.
No, we're excited. Let me first of all extend congratulations to you. I don't think I've done that since you were appointed. So congratulations on how far you've come. It must be fulfilling being in this position.
Thank you. Of course, when the president chooses to appoint 23 people as ministers and your name is mentioned, it's more than fulfilling. And so I'm first grateful to the president. I'm grateful to the Almighty for giving me this opportunity to serve the motherland. And there were so many of us that were more than qualified. And so it's an honor to be called upon to serve. And
is this something you're expecting?
I was part of those who advocated for a ministry for youth development. But like I said, it was not what I was expecting. There were too many of us and too many qualified people. I only saw myself as an organizer, and so when His Excellency invited me and told me this is what he wanted to do for me, I was honored, I was thrilled, and I'm grateful.
Why do you think he chose you?
I will not be able to say. In the wisdom of the president, he believed I was best fit for that role, and he decided to give me that opportunity to serve. And so I can only be grateful, and I pray that God gives me the strength and the wisdom to be able to shape the ministry the way His Excellency's vision is, and also to be able to bring about the relief the young people of this country seek so much. And so I hope to do my best and leave my footprints.
So since taking it up, has it been what you envisioned it to be?
It is a new ministry.
Yeah.
Setting up a new ministry is difficult. It's been a very tall order. It's been very challenging, but I've been able to put together or assemble such a great team. And I've gotten a lot of support from senior people in government, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Valerie Sawyer, Dr. Callistus Mahama, and even His Excellency himself. They've been very supportive, knowing that I don't have because it was not a ministry that had already been established.
So there was no blueprint.
There was no blueprint, and so charting that path was going to be a difficult one. And so I've gotten a lot of support from those who matter. And I've been also blessed with some very good staff, some backroom staff who are doing amazingly well. And the team I worked with from the youth wing, and the team that also championed the NDC's Youth Manifesto, they've been very instrumental. They've given me all the support I deserve. And so today I'm proud to say that we have a full functioning ministry.
Wow.
And so if you are not even careful, you'll not even know that it is new. 8 months on and everything is in place.
No, I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I was having a conversation with some friends of ours, and we were talking about the most vibrant minister since the government took over. And boy, your ministry has been quite vibrant. I mean, even in the past couple of months, I'm seeing the launch of this. Jumuru Entrepreneurship Program is here. National Apprenticeship Program is next. And you've been busy.
There is a vision and there is a blueprint, and so we are only following the vision. His Excellency wants to put the youth of this country to work, and I've been tasked to do that, and so that is exactly what we are pursuing. And so yes, it's challenging, yes, it's difficult, but
what's been the main challenge since you took office?
What we call is the two-thing problems when something is starting and getting people to come on board, people to believe in the vision, and people to see the picture. A ministry that had no staff, and so they are bringing in staff from all other departments to get them to even align, for them to see which direction you want to go, to be able to chart the path, to be able to have a program to follow, and to also be able to align the various agencies. For instance, the YEA, the Youth Employment Agency, over the years had been the Ministry of Employment and Labour. And so how do you align this agency, such a strategic agency, to a new ministry? The National Youth Authority has always been with the Youth and Sports Ministry. It was easier aligning them because they've always been with Youth and Sports. Bringing on board the Scholarship Secretariat, bringing on board National Service Authority that had always been with Ministry of Education. And you know how people are reluctant to let things go. And so it's always a challenge. And even getting the staffs to understand that, you know what, this is a new ministry, things must be done differently. The habits from the old ministries cannot be brought here. And also getting people to understand that it's a youth ministry, and so the orientation must totally be different. It cannot be business as usual. So those has been the challenges. But like I said, we've gotten a lot of support from the right people, and so we've been able to align people properly, and so work is ongoing.
Good. I mean, you've had a very fast and varied public service journey. I mean, from MCE at 27, National Youth Organizer, to Minister. What motivates you to keep going in this direction?
You know, once you get yourself into the public space, your prayer is just to keep on doing better and hoping that grace finds you. My motivation has been from the fact that many other young people look up to you. People tie their aprons to you, and so you know you can't fail them because you become more or less like a role model, and so they look up to you. And so even though there are days you are challenged, there are days you have your own personal issues, everybody's looking up to you. I remember when I finished my first term as National Youth Organizer, I assembled my team and I said, I'm tired. I don't intend contesting again. You're leading a lot of young people who are inexperienced, and they look up to you, and you should see the dejection in the room. Everybody looking at me, what are you talking about? If you are not there, we are not here. So you better go on. You better do what you have to do. Because I was telling them that traveling around this country and campaigning and leading demonstrations, advocacy, it was taking a toll on me. My family's life was like, my family was also suffering. But they are all looking up to you, and they expect you to be out there because you also give them hope. And that air around you resonate with many other people at the base. And so, yes, they keep me going. The young people I lead they keep me going. They are my biggest source of inspiration.
So when the family was suffering at that time, what kept it together? Was it the promise of things getting better, or probably you promised to atone in other ways?
No, when they see the vision and believe in it, my wife has been very supportive. She's been one who believes in what I believe in, and she sees the vision as well. So it is easy for her to come on board, come around and appreciate it, that you're not doing this just for yourself. You are doing it for the collective good of everyone. And so she's been very understanding, very supportive. My first son is more of a politician. So
is he? How old is he?
He's 12.
Oh, okay.
So he understands politics.
Right.
And so he's able to convince the others and tell them, you know what daddy is doing, he's not doing it for himself, he's doing it for the love of the country. And so people believe in him, and so he's also been able to rally the other ones around him.
That's a big man, right? He's a leader already.
No, he's a leader. So so they have been very supportive. And my father, my mother, my father especially, he's been extremely supportive. He has held my hands to the stage, and he's still been there. Every election I've contested, he's on grounds to make sure I sail through. And so I've gotten a very supportive family. My mother, my father, my brother, they've been extremely supportive. My brother has almost single-handedly with my dad financed all my numerous campaigns I've embarked on.
I see.
From 2008. And so they've been extremely supportive. And not for once have they, in 2008 when I contested for parliament and I lost, they said, oh, it's okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
When I decided to contest for National Youth Organizer, and I called a family meeting and I discussed with them. I said, okay, so how much do you think you will need? Let's start finding the money. They've never complained. So I've gotten a very supportive family, and they've been there. And so I'm able to go out for long hours, go out for very long days, not coming back home. And I know that at least everybody is properly taking care of me. As my brother will step in, my father will step in, and make sure there are no problems.
Well, you owe them.
I owe them that. So
you have to start paying.
Maybe the only way I can pay them is to make sure I give out my best to help transform the future of young people.
Was there a single moment or probably a memory that made you decide that, look, public service is my path?
If anybody told me from the university that I'll find myself in this space, I'll say no. I was a reveler, one of those young men out there that enjoyed life. And so, politics was not something I ever did. It didn't even cross my mind that I'll be doing politics.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, and everybody who knows me from Achimota, from Adisado, from University of Ghana will tell you, Pablo shouldn't be here. Opare Addo shouldn't be here, because I was that young man who was all over the place, even the streets of Fanofa.
Are you serious? You've explored this place.
Bolare, Black, we're all good. Yeah. So I was all over the place, and if I should end up in any, it should have been entertainment.
I see.
Yeah, because I worked with a few artists, KK Fosu, Batman when he was Batman, even Reggie, and a few others. We did a few shows in the UK and Ghana. That was where I was.
I see.
And then 2008, do I call it a calling? I got my call, and then I ended up running for parliament. And
how did that call happen? I mean, what happened?
Ofoswampofo, the former national chairman of the NDC, he was the national organizer of the NDC. And my dad is one of the founding members of the NDC. And so in 2008, the NDC was looking for a parliamentary candidate for the Opare constituency where I come from. And so the regional secretary for the Eastern region, Honorable Anthony Jempo of Oswampofo, then there was one man called Reverend McCorney. And then one man we called Honorable. I still don't know what his real name was.
Just called him Honorable.
Everybody called him Honorable.
Yeah.
So they came to my dad. My dad had 2 adult sons. I was the youngest. So they came to my dad to ask him that Prof had asked them to come and look for a parliamentary candidate for Opare. And so my dad should avail himself, either he or one of his first son. Richard was not in town, so when they came, they met me in the house. I was getting ready to leave for the Gambia. to work on a project. I used to do some work with African Week magazine then. So I was getting ready to leave for the Gambia. And so I saw them, exchange pleasantries with them, and then just when I was about going, they asked that I come and sit in the conversation.
Okay.
So they asked my dad, that's who is he bringing for the constituency, because they are still looking for a candidate. And I said, but he's too old to involve himself in this. Then Ampofo said, but Opare can do it. I laughed for like a minute. I was like, are you people serious? Me to contest as what? So they said, okay, I should think about it. When they come, they'll come back. So I left for the Gambia for a week. When I came, I called my friends. Michael Otieje.
Oh, yeah, Michael.
Kweku Koram, Akoto. They used to be in sports.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
So, and every Friday evening, we'll go out party, and then around 12 midnight, we'll come and sit in my house in Jolo, my dad's house. We sit out there, put our drinks out there, and then party till.
So it was part two of the
outing. So it was one of those moments that I told them that I've been asked to come and contest. And then Kweku Koram, who was from the Krapim Rage as well. And so on weekends, so Friday night we party hard, and then Saturday morning we take a drive up the hill
to
go and continue. So then Koram said, but you can do this. So other friends said, but you can do it. But a lot of them were NPP.
Okay.
And so they said, but you can do it. I said, but all of you are NPP. Why are you asking me to do this? They said, no. So ideas started floating.
Right.
I said, okay, then this Saturday, when we go up the hill, I will go to the constituency and then at least go look around. So 2 weeks later, I reached out to Honorable Ofosampofo. I said, I've thought about what you discussed with me. What do I have to do? Because I was naive. I was new to that space. I said, don't worry, I'll mentor you. So my lessons started. I was introduced to the constituency. That was the first time I heard the word primaries. That's they needed to organize primaries. I said, what is that? And so I got used to some of the technical terms that politicians do use.
Yeah.
And then I was introduced to the constituency executives, the chairman then Douglas Ajay, very wonderful guy, the woman organizer, one Janet Asari. They came on board and said, oh, no problem, we will see how. And then they asked me, do you speak the dialect? I said, yes. So they introduced me to a few people. I said, take me around the constituency. Let me appreciate the work I intend or the work I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So one day, one guy called Amevo. He's of blessed memory now, may his soul rest in peace. Sat in a car with me and we took a drive around the whole constituency. When I came back to Accra for like a month, nobody heard from me. Because I realized that this was not for me. And I was wondering, city boy, Accra boy, how am I going to leave
all the party nights
and then go and leave in a Duke room and start all this? And then Papa kept on calling. Said, you are going to do this, so get ready.
Wow.
And so one day I finally made a decision. They said I needed to subject myself to vetting. So now I needed to learn. But I had done some student activism through TANE.
Okay.
I had also played some role as branch youth organizer at the Jolu branch because my dad was involved. So, but I did.
You were close to the action, but not in the action.
Not in the action. I did it for fun.
Right.
But now I was being called to come in full time.
Okay.
So I decided that if this is what I have to do, and my dad was like, "You have to do this. We are not finding anybody, so you have to do this." So my brother was in London then, so I called him. And then he said, so the business, because at that time I was running some of the family business.
Okay.
So, then I'll have to relocate back. He had to relocate back to Ghana to come and take over.
Okay.
We needed to do some adjustments.
Yeah.
So we did our adjustments. I decided to contest. Luckily for me, nobody picked from, so I became the only candidate. So they didn't want to call an acclamation. So I was acclaimed the parliamentary candidate, and then the work started. And from 2008 till now, I have learned a lot, and I got some very good teachers who took me through. For instance, Honorable Anthony Jempo, he was a 2-time municipal district chief executive. He's one of the people who gave me some of the best advice you ever get in politics. I was lucky. Ampofo was seasoned, Official Ampofo, from deputy minister, MP, minister. So I got people to mentor me, and so I went through the ropes and then learned the craft very well.
What was your first cultural shock? I mean, from a whole different business, entertainment, so what, a bit of fun here and there, not really considering politics, and then now you're in deep. What was the first cultural shock?
The queues that lines up in the morning in your house. You wake up in the morning, your house is full, and everybody's coming in with one problem or the other. You have your own problems you've not been able to deal with. You have your crisis of identifying yourself.
Yeah.
And the thought of you waking up every morning and asking yourself, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
And then in the morning, everybody comes to meet you, and you are like that one person who can help solve their problems. And so all of a sudden, you carry the hopes and aspirations of so many people.
Some that you probably don't even know.
People you've never seen in your life before.
Wow.
But they are members of the party, they are members of the community. They've heard you speak one or twice, and all of a sudden they believe in you. And so now your question is, do I disappoint all these people? How do I reorient myself quickly to be able to lead and live up to their expectations? And you ask your end the kind of demands that come. Because where I was coming from, nobody comes to ask you for anything. You wake up in the morning and there's nobody at your door. You wake up, sit in your car, and you are gone. And now you have to adjust.
Yeah. What kind of demands were you getting?
Like this, you want to know. From paying off school fees and too many.
What's the craziest one?
People coming to ask you for money for abortion. For real. You'll be amazed some of the things they come to demand. My girlfriend is pregnant, I have to abort it, and I don't have money. My girlfriend is pregnant, I need to. So I asked them, when you're indulging, I was not there. So I should be the one to bear the cost.
And then your constituency people were busy. They were very busy doing this.
It is not just there. Even when I became national youth organizer, and people have issues in courts. Yeah, people, the demands were in various folds. So people come and ask for different things. Yeah.
Was there a moment that you thought, look, this is overwhelming, I want to give up?
Like, you see, it's like a bug biting you. Once you get into it, you begin to appreciate, and you begin to warm yourself up to it, and you begin to appreciate where they are coming from and what challenges come from, especially when you travel around the constituency and you see how people live, poverty, and you knowing very well that you can do something about the situation they find themselves in. Unless you are not conscionable, but if you have conscience, then you want to definitely do something. And the challenge, it pushes you, it inspires you, it gets you out there wanting to do more. And I have no regrets.
You know, I believe that God ordains our paths in various ways.
Certainly.
So even though you probably had a path from, like you said, maybe entertainment and whatnot that you might have ended up in, do you think there were parts of you from that part of your life that helped you when you got into politics?
A lot of the things is my association with various people and the network of friends I've had has done me a lot of good. I went to boarding school very early. At 6 years, I was in Achimota Primary Boarding School. Myself, Saka.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent my whole life living in that kind of community, kind of lifestyle. Yeah. And then in Adisada College, your chobox was not your chobox. Everybody could eat from it. Yeah. And in Commonwealth, we lived like we're each other's keeper. So that kind of association. Yeah. And when I came out to do business, I learned a few things. I'm sure you know I just down the road.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one of our family businesses. And wow. I got to meet a lot of people, tiptoeing. So I came from a very bougie neighborhood in Jolu. But I was born in Nima. So I still have family living in the slums of Nima. And I live the bush. I'm from a very decent neighborhood in Jolu. So I was able to, so that helped me politically. When you get into the streets of Accra, from Tiptoe Lane to Cow Lane, I know almost every ghetto, every spot, everywhere. And these are people I know. When you get to Newtown, from College Junction, everybody knows. When you get to Nimala, everybody knows me.
Yeah.
So I was that young man who has been everywhere.
Yeah.
Even though my background was, I'm supposed to be more or less a Dadaba, but I called myself Dadaba at hard labor. So I was able to mingle, and I was able to find myself in every space. So in every setting you put me, I survive. Because at 6 years I was in boarding school. And so if I survive, and trust me, at Chimata School, if you know at Chimata School, the primary school and the secondary school are on the same compound. And when we went in, those and our seniors, because I was in class 1, my brother was in class 3, he wrote common entrance and went to Form 1. And a lot of his mates jumped up. So we lived in the same space. So you saw them. And so the bullying, all the things, all the good things, bad things, you learned all there.
Yeah.
Then you go to Addo College. And when I went there, my brother's name was Addo's brother. And so you are in the village, you are at Jets, you are at Solace. So you learn a lot of things.
Right.
And so it prepares you. And I believe strongly that my upbringing prepared me for what I find myself doing today.
So you studied philosophy and psychology.
Yes.
And then later law.
Yes.
And in governance.
Yeah.
What were your personal interests? And this is probably before psychology and philosophy came in.
So I did business in Addis Ababa. I was one of the best business students in Addis Ababa College.
Is it?
So everybody thought I was going to stay in the school of admin.
Okay.
And I was doing ACCA part-time. But when I got to Legon, it was like some freedom, some gate had been opened. And so Addis Ababa, we enjoyed a lot of freedom. But Legon, it was like no control.
Yeah.
So I realized that no, if I push and stay in this school, I will not survive. So let me do things that will make me at least pass and go. And so I abandoned my ACCA that I was doing. It was just when I was about graduating that my dad realized that I'd stopped doing the ACCA. So he didn't push me to do admin, which he wanted, and I had every qualification to do admin. Because I went to Legon in 09, and that time 09 was a big score. And so when he realized I was not doing this, he got disappointed. Big disappointment. But I told him that, you know what, let me chart my own path. So psychology, philosophy, I came home, graduated, and then my family owned a few businesses, so I jumped straight into business.
Oh, okay.
I traveled a bit. I went to stay in America for some time. One morning I told myself, no. Looking at what I was doing and looking at what my parents had back home, I was like, why would I wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and then live like some peasants, and when I come home to, at least I'll live well. So one morning I just told my friends, you know what, I'm going back to Ghana.
Like that.
And I told them, I remember telling my friends that when I go, I'm not coming back to this country. The next time I come, there was a hotel in downtown Newark, but every morning when we are going to work, we walk past. And it was a Hilton.
Okay.
For us at that time, it was a big deal.
It's still a big deal.
So I remember telling my friends that the next time I come to this country, I'll be sleeping in one of these hotels. It's around the airports, the Newark airport area. There are a lot of hotels around.
Yeah.
So, and I used to work with a company called Central Parking System. So I drive and park cars.
Okay.
So I remember telling them that, you see, these hotels, the next time I come, I'll be sleeping here and I'll call you. Come and visit me. And so in 2010, when I went back, then I was an MCE.
Okay.
I was sleeping in one of those hotels and I called my friends. And I said, I'm back. I told you I was not coming here from 2006 or 7.
Yeah.
And so the next time I come, I'm not coming to live in any of these houses, but I'll be sleeping in one of these hotels. And so come, I'm here. And then, so I look back and then I smile. So God has been very gracious. And so like I said, so that is it. And
What a story! I mean, you have a very interesting story. I mean,
it's been an interesting journey. I remember when I came back, my brother was laughing at me. Yeah, he said, "You're a quadrifour. You're a lazy boy. America crying to me," and I was like, he loved London, so he would go there, come. So we even started a business from London. So I remember he always laughing at me and teasing me and saying that America crying to me, and I was like, now Papa and Jamie said it's not for me.
Yeah,
it is not my calling. Not all of us will survive out there. So if I did not survive, at least I'm back home.
Look, you were the youngest MCE, 27 years.
Thanks to Professor Mills and President John Dramani Mahama for them to have believed in a young man. I had just come out of an election. I had lost to the Venerable Dan Botry, and I was just home. You know, when we won, I did not really bother myself much. So one morning, I got a call from here, Kwejo Ponkroma.
Okay.
The morning show, Kwejo, and then there was a guy called Dela Jijono. He used to work here.
Yeah.
So around 6 a.m. before the news or so, they had brought a list for MMDCs. So I got a call from Kwejo and Dela. Say, "Congrats, Charlie, some list come, your name there inside." I said, "Well, let's start." So the MMDCs list. I had gone for the interview, but looking at the people who were interviewed for my municipal, and then the Kwapim North Municipal had 2 constituencies, Opare and Ekropon. And I was young. I thought I was inexperienced. And when we went for the interview, a lot of other experienced people were there. And so I didn't give myself much of a chance.
Yeah.
So when I got a call that morning from Kwejo and Dela saying that my name was in the list, I said, "Charlie, you guys are lying. Stop this." So Kwejo is just about to go and they will announce it. I didn't have a radio in my room, so I had to go to the living room, turn one on, and then patiently waiting. And then lo and behold, the names were mentioned, and my name was out there. Then some young men in the constituency decided to go on a demonstration that same day. That's one, they felt my father had influenced the process. 2, I was unmarried, and that's if I come and serve, I'll go after people's wives.
Wow.
So I was like,
that was part of the reasons for the demonstration.
My cousin and I decided to take a drive that afternoon after the demonstration, and it was Adom FM that carried the story. So I drove up the hill, met the young men, and today they are my friends. I asked them, "What is the reason for this?" They said, I come from the smaller constituency, Opare. Ekropon was smart, and they were from the Ekropon side. And they had more qualified people. They should have been given the nod. Like, I'm not the president. President Mills believes in me, and he's giving me the opportunity to serve, and so I'm here to serve. So I remember one afternoon I got a call from Nilante that the president wanted to see me. So I drove and came to meet him. I remember I said, "Addo, down there, you know how, Prof?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yes, Prof." And I said, I was not going to embarrass him. I was going to work diligently. And thanks be to God, I did 2 terms.
Wow.
I survived. You know how DCs are changed. So I did my first 4 years. Prof died. President Mama took over. And when President Mama won, he once again gave me the opportunity to serve. And I served 2 terms. Stuff. And then in 2017, when the MPP came, when we lost the elections and I packed out of Ekropon, I never went back.
You never went back?
I left Ekropon on the 9th of 7th December, around 11 p.m., when the results started coming. When I saw the trend, I packed what I needed. I was living with my cousin. I told him, "Ata, I'm going to Accra, where I feel I'll be safe. And when it is all done, I will come and I'll move you out." So I told him, "I'm leaving you here. So now you're the acting chief executive." I came to Accra, waited, the results finished, it got announced, President Mama conceded. I called my coordinating director, asked him to finalize the handing over notes. Because of the transition act, by October, all your handing over notes are done. But because I'd stayed on for 2 months into December, I needed to tidy it up. So I went in, made sure everything was pepe. And the good thing is that for the 8 years that I stayed in office, there was not one single audit findings against my municipality.
Wow.
On 2 different occasions, I came before the Public Accounts Committee, but basically we were even commended for the kind of work we had done. And so I knew I was not going to have any issues. And so when I left and came, and a lot of the former appointees were shying away from radio and TV because we were being threatened here and there, I was one of the loud voices out there because I knew that I was clean and not done anything wrong for anybody to impugn anything on me. And so I remember in one of your studios here in Asempa, one of the MPP people came to tell me that if I don't stop talking, I'll see what they'll do. I said, look, there is nothing you can do because I have not stolen any funds. I've not taken anything that has not belonged to me, and so I'm not afraid to speak. But good experiences, good memories, and being a chief executive really shaped me. It humbled me. It gave me a different perspective to life. And it's been part of what has guided me and helped me. It's brought me to this.
Brought you to where you are now
today.
If you're just joining us, look, we're having a great conversation with the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, Honorable George Opare Addo. Here on Personality Profile, you can send your messages in on 055-1111-997. I'm seeing lots of messages in here. Alexis, good evening. I remember him when he was DCE of Kyopim North. Mirabel, can you open that message for me? Because I'd love to read that. Yes. He says that I remember very well because I was doing my national service in 2008, 2009, thereabouts. He's a great guy. I put my tourism proposals before him, but I left after my national service. That's from Isaac. Okay, Isaac. Thank you for sharing your message here. Okay, so let's. I mean, your story is so vast, and there are so many things I'd have loved for us to talk about. I'm just realizing that we are almost running out of time.
Right.
But look, you're Ghana's first Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. What are the top 3 measurable things that you say are priority for you in the ministry?
So when I came in, so I have 5 thematic areas I'm working with. That is what I've set myself to work with. The first is the health and well-being of young people in this country. The second is education and skills training. The third is how do we position young people to also assume leadership roles. The fourth is how do we make them more patriotic in terms of civic responsibilities. And then the last one I say is in Akan we have a saying, there is no good advice than Jeff Akobobra empowerment. And so how do we position young people under these 5 thematic areas? Health and well-being. Alexis, we cannot develop this country when our young people are not in the right frame of mind, when they are not healthy. And so one of the key things I'm working on as a minister for youth development is to make sure that young people, especially their health and well-being, is of paramount importance. And that is why we've launched the Red Means Stop campaign. I'm also a data person. I focus my work on data. And so to be able to understand some things, you must first have some baseline data to work with so you're able to measure. As I speak to you, we've conducted some research, and just yesterday we finished one on the health and well-being of young people across the country. And it was shared with us yesterday, so we are still studying it. We've also done one for our tertiary institutions about substance use and why they are abusing the substance and how we will be able to reduce it. And then we've also done one on the skills gap. And so you realize that with the introduction of free SHS, a lot of young people have education now. They are able to go through basic education, go through second cycle, but very few are able to transition into tertiary. So we have a big gap. We've done that research as well, so we know where our challenges are. Now the third is how I got a chance at a very young age to assume some leadership. What can I also do for other young people? I'll be happy to see a 24-year-old, a 25-year-old a 21-year-old sits in parliaments, stuffs like. So how do we position young people to be able to sit in such places? And then when we were growing up, there used to be a lot of patriotism, a lot of volunteerism. That spirit has died. How do we bring it back? Now we have to even beg Ghanaians to go to the stadium to cheer on our own national team. How do we restore that back? And most importantly, how do we empower young people so that at least they can earn decently and also be able to contribute their quota to national development? When we talk about earning decently, I'm talking about decent work. Because you realize that a lot of young people, even though are employed, are underemployed. And so they have no satisfaction with what they are doing. How do we? And one of the key things I'm working on is how do we formalize that informal sector for people to begin to appreciate that they are also giving something to this country, and so their efforts should be appreciated. We take a lot of young people and their struggles for granted because what they do, their hustle has not been formalized. How do we formalize that? And so these are some of the things we are working on. One of the key things I would love to see is to see unemployment within young people reduce drastically. Just last week, the Statistical Service released data on unemployment. Is reduced from 14.8 to about 13 point something. But unemployment among young people is still on the rise. How do we reduce this significantly so that if tomorrow morning the president says I should leave that ministry, I want to leave knowing very well that we impacted positively. We brought about some transformation, that change that will lead any other person who comes to sit in that chair to also continue. So I am, and because I'm first minister, I'll have to leave a blueprint, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm charting that path, so that anybody who comes, at least, because for instance, when we're looking for data on substance abuse in our tertiary institutions, we didn't have any proper baseline data. And so we needed to, and all the things that have not been done previously, some had been done, but it's not been done in a coordinated manner. We are trying to make sure that all these things are done. So a lot of our work at the initial stage is more of policy. Because you need to set a certain framework in place. That so that sense. If anybody comes tomorrow, there is something to fall on, some path you can also follow. Because if you are the first person, if you don't chart that path for others to follow, then you would have failed.
That's true. What's the biggest lesson this whole journey of life has taught you?
Two things. The first is if you set your eyes on anything, you can become anything you want to be. That is the first. And so, because I never believed I would be seated here 2025 George Opare Addo, Minister of State, not in a dog's chance. I never did. I never believed it. It never crossed my mind growing up. Then the second thing I've learned is that time and chance. And so when that time comes, when the opportunity comes, grab it with both hands. It may look daunting, it may look very difficult. But you see, every task that has been assigned me, initially it looks very difficult. But once you get yourself into it, you begin to unlock it, you unravel it, and then it becomes, you're able to journey on. And so don't ever hold yourself back. No, don't ever tell yourself, I cannot do this.
Awesome.
Time and chance. When it comes, grab it. Because there are no second opportunities in this world. If I had not taken that decision, that time when Ofosu Ampofo and Anthony Jempo and Co. came knocking, I would have missed out. And today, I'm sure when the history of this country is written, I'm humbled enough to acknowledge that someday my name will be in there as the First Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment.
What's your greatest fear?
Failure. But it's inevitable because you fail and you learn. And failure only becomes failure when you don't learn lessons out of it. I've failed many times, but it doesn't hold me back. But I fear to fail. But it is okay to fear to fail because it guides you. And then it prepares you. And so, yes, but you can never always chuck success. And so, and it also humbles you because imagine you are chucking successes all the time. You may think you are super. But once you know there is failure, that idea that you can fail, it humbles you and then it makes you tread cautiously.
What's your biggest regret?
How do I put it? Biggest regrets. There are some things I would have done differently on hindsight, but today, because I decided not to do it. And so,
like what?
When I was much younger, I had every opportunity of not being in politics. I'm not saying politics is my regrets, but there was a certain path my dad had wanted me to follow. I believe strongly if I'd followed that path, I would not have been doing politics. Maybe I would have ended up somewhere. Sometimes, I don't call it regret, but sometimes I look back on those moments and I ask myself, would life be any different if I had taken those paths? It may be, it could be, it would not have ended up well as well. Because there is that uncertainty into the future. Nobody knows what the future holds and stuff. But there are days I look back on those moments and I ask myself, did I really see this? Did I not think about this? Why didn't I travel that path? And so I don't call it regrets, but
you do think about them.
There are moments I think about.
Do you think your father was disappointed that you didn't chart those paths?
He got disappointed when I didn't do accounting.
Okay.
Because my big brother is a lawyer already. And he was hoping to have one lawyer, one accountant, and then my other siblings. He tried teleguiding us into certain careers. And so when he realized that I had not pursued the accounts, and even some of my teachers from Addis Ababa, one became a district chief executive in the central region somewhere. He taught me cost accounting. When he met me later on in life and he realized I didn't pursue, because I was good at it. So they expected me. And so I have a few friends that they knew I was better than them. But today they are chartered accountants, they are partners in some of the big brands. I don't want to mention names. And so I meet them and I'm like, oh, so this could have been me. We laugh over it. At least I'm here.
Absolutely. So, in just 30 seconds, the youth of Ghana are listening to you.
Two things. The first is believe in yourself. If you set your eyes onto something that you want to do, believe you can do it. Go out for it and do it. It is okay to fail sometimes, but it only becomes failure when you don't learn valuable lessons and move on. And then the second one is the issue of substance abuse. I am only pleading. Everybody should look around you. You may have somebody around you that is abusing one substance or the other. And substance abuse is not just a problem of the individual. It is more of a family disease that affects the whole family when one person falls into that category. And so we should do more to support each other in that respect, and we should all fight against the abuse of opioids on our markets. It has a tendency and potential of destroying many young lives, and I don't think we should go down that road.
Lawyer George Opare Addo, you're amazing.
Thank you.
What a story. Thank you. It's been a very inspirational one, and I'm so glad we got to tell this story.
Finally.
Finally. There's a lot more I'd have loved for us to get into, but of course time is up, and so we'll have to wrap up. I'm grateful that you made time for us today here on Drive Time. Thank you very, very much. I've got just one last question, though.
Sure.
The guy who came with our abortion money, did he do it? Or you have some grandson somewhere?
Like this, I have paid so much money to so many young people for so many reasons. Sometimes they are lying to you.
Yeah.
But they must tell a story to get the money.
That's all.
So, but one of my youth organizers in the Bono region somewhere.
Yeah.
And when I told him like that, we didn't mean to. And so every day we meet, we laugh over it.
Anyway, thank you so much. It was great hanging out with you.
Well,
God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned in. This is Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Lexus Bill. It's a personality profile on behalf of the team. We're grateful that you made time to listen to us. This video is live on Facebook, so you can actually go check it out if you missed any part of the conversation. Uncle Ken will be on your radio pretty shortly. It's 8 o'clock. Let's find out what's happening in news.